Okay, so friendships. We've all got them,
Right.
but we're going to really kind of deep dive into it today
Yeah.
because we've got this great stack of research and articles, and
Mm.
they all say that friendships are super important,
Oh, yeah.
like way more than we even realize.
Like it goes way beyond just feeling good or,
Oh,
having someone to hang out with.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's actual science backing this up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Like studies show that strong friendships are actually linked to a longer lifespan.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. And even, they can even boost your immune system, believe it or not.
Get out of here. I had no idea.
Yeah. Like there was this one study from Brigham Young University
Yeah.
that found the lack of social connection can actually be as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Wow.
Mm,
That puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
it really does.
Yeah.
Makes you think about those ride or die friends.
Right.
The ones who are like always there for you no matter what.
Yeah, totally. So it's not just like a fun thing. It's like actually
Yeah.
crucial.
Essential.
Wow.
And these articles that you've pulled together,
Mm-hmm.
they highlight some of the key qualities, of these strong, healthy friendships.
Okay.
Like, things we hear all the time, like trust, open communication, support, respect. And of course, you got to have some fun in there too.
Right. Of course, fun. But like, are those just, buzzwords, or is there something more to those qualities?
Well, let's unpack them. Like, take trust, for example.
Okay.
It's not just about, keeping secrets.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about knowing that you can be vulnerable with someone.
Okay.
You can share your fears, your dreams,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be judged for it.
That's huge. Like,
Yeah.
you can really be yourself.
Exactly.
And they're not going to like use it against you later or tell everyone your secrets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That feeling of safety is like so important for a true connection to really form.
Yeah, for sure.
And that kind of ties into, open communication.
Okay.
Being able to have, even those difficult conversations, disagree respectfully, and still feel like the bond is strong.
So it's not about always agreeing.
No, not at all.
It's about like disagreeing respectfully.
Right.
Okay.
It's healthy to have different opinions.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, what about support?
Support.
Like, everyone says they're a supportive friend,
Right.
but how do we actually know if we're like truly showing up for our friends when they need us?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And, the articles point out that, true support isn't always about those grand gestures.
Okay.
It's really about, consistently being there,
Okay.
listening without judgment, offering a shoulder to cry on, celebrating those victories, big or small.
Okay.
It's those little things that, really make a difference over time.
So more about the everyday stuff.
Exactly. The everyday stuff can mean so much more than, those big one-time things.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've got trust, communication, support. What about respect?
Respect.
Isn't that kind of like a given in any relationship?
You would think so.
Well,
But, respect in friendship, it goes a little deeper than just basic manners, right?
okay.
It's really about valuing your friends' opinions, even when they're different from your own.
Yeah.
Valuing their boundaries,
Yeah.
not trying to change them.
I've definitely had friends that were like trying to make me into someone. Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
It never works out well.
Yeah, and it just makes you feel kind of icky,
Right.
So it's about recognizing that they're their own person,
Exactly.
on their own journey.
With their own path.
Okay.
And you're there to support them.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
But we can't forget about the fun, right?
Of course not. Laughter is the best medicine.
Life's too short to be serious all the time.
Exactly. These articles, they really hit on the point that shared experiences, laughter, inside jokes,
Mm-hmm.
those are the things that create those lasting memories.
Yeah.
And that's what really binds you together.
It's like you can be crying 1 minute
Right.
and then like cracking up over something silly the next.
Totally.
And that's what's like so special about friendships.
Exactly.
So, okay, we've got why these friendships matter
Yeah.
and what makes them like strong.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we actually like put this all into practice?
Yeah.
Like, how do we go beyond just knowing about it?
Well, good news is these articles, they actually have some pretty practical tips.
Okay, good.
And they really all boil down to being intentional.
Okay.
You got to be willing to put in the time and the effort.
Right. We can't just expect these amazing friendships to
Yeah.
just appear.
They take work.
Okay.
And what were the first tips that really jumped out at me was being authentic.
Oh, that's interesting. You'd think you would want to put your like best foot forward,
Right.
especially with new people.
Sure.
So why is being authentic so important?
Because, there's a difference between being your best self and being fake.
Right.
Authenticity attracts authenticity. When you're genuine,
Mm-hmm.
you attract people who appreciate you for who you really are.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And that's what creates those deeper connections.
So I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not.
Right. Try and be someone you're not is exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's not sustainable. And it prevents you from forming those genuine bonds.
That's such a good point. Okay, so be myself. What else?
You also got to take initiative.
Ooh, okay.
Don't wait for others to reach out. You make the first move.
So, like, don't be afraid to, like, text first or suggest a coffee date.
Exactly. Invite them to an event
Okay.
that shows you're invested in the friendship.
Okay.
And you never know. Sometimes people are just waiting for someone to reach out.
That's true. It's easy to get caught up in your own world and assume everyone else is, like, too busy.
Busy, yeah.
But they might be thinking the same thing,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, I want to hang out, but, like, I don't want to bother them.
Exactly.
Okay. So be proactive.
Mm-hmm. Be a good listener.
Okay. I feel like that's, like, a basic life skill.
You would think so.
But it's amazing how many people don't do it.
It's true. Put the phone down, make eye contact, really listen to what your friend's saying. Ask clarifying questions, reflect back what you're hearing.
Uh-huh.
Those are all signs of active listening.
I'm totally guilty of scrolling through my phone while people are talking to me.
Oh, we all are.
It's a bad habit.
It's a bad habit, but it's very common,
Yeah.
especially now with,
All distractions.
the digital age. But, being mindful of that.
Right.
When you're with friends, that can make a huge difference.
So being present is key.
Being present and engaged
Yeah.
shows that you value them and what they have to say.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got be proactive, good listener,
Mm-hmm.
make time.
Ah, yes. Making time.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Life just gets so busy.
So busy.
It's easy to just, like, let things slide.
I know. But even those small, consistent interactions, they can make such a big difference.
Okay.
A quick phone call, virtual coffee date,
Mm-hmm.
even just a thoughtful text.
Yeah.
It shows you're thinking of them.
It doesn't have to be this big, elaborate thing.
No, it doesn't. It's about prioritizing those connections, even when things get crazy.
Okay, so be proactive, good listener, make time. Anything else?
Last but not least,
Yeah.
be open to new connections.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's easy to, get stuck in your routine, your same social circle,
Yeah.
but you never know where you're going to meet your next great friend.
Right.
Strike up a conversation with someone in line at the coffee shop, join a book club, volunteer for something you care about.
Uh-huh.
Those are all great opportunities to just kind of expand your circle.
I love that. Yeah. It's like friendship's not a finite resource.
It's not.
There's always room for more.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Our capacity for connection, it's limitless. And you never know how a new friend might enrich your life.
So true.
Right. As much as we'd love to think that friendships are always sunshine and rainbows,
Right.
the reality is conflict happens,
Yeah.
even in the strongest friendships.
It's almost like we don't want to talk about it.
Right,
Like
yeah.
it's this taboo subject. But
It's going to happen.
yeah, it's inevitable. Right.
Absolutely. It's part of any close relationship.
For sure.
And actually, these articles, they say that conflict, when handled the right way, can actually make a friendship stronger.
Really?
Yeah, it's a chance to understand each other better,
Yeah.
set healthy boundaries, learn how to, deal with your differences.
Okay. That's like a totally different way of looking at conflict because
Yeah.
I usually see it as something to like avoid at all costs.
Yeah, it's natural to want to shy away from disagreements.
For sure.
But, avoiding it can actually make things worse.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You just let resentments build up,
Mm-hmm.
and then it can blow up later, even bigger.
Okay, so it's better to like address those issues head on,
Exactly.
even if it feels uncomfortable.
Right. But the key is to approach it with, understanding
Okay.
and wanting to find a solution that works for both people.
Okay. Easier said than done, though, right?
Yeah, it definitely takes practice. So how do we actually do that? How do we address these things constructively?
Yeah. Give me the steps.
Well, the articles have a few tips. Number 1, address the issue early. Don't let it, fester.
Oh, I'm so bad at that.
We all are.
I'm like, oh, it's fine. And then like a week later, I'm like, this is not fine.
You explode.
Yeah.
Yeah. But catching it early means you can deal with it when it's small
Right.
before it becomes a huge problem.
Nip it in the bud.
Exactly. Nip it in the bud. And when you do have that conversation, Try using I statements.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, like, you always do this,
Right.
you'd say, I feel hurt when this happens.
Exactly.
Oh.
It takes the blame away.
Mm-hmm.
And it just helps you explain how you feel without, making the other person defensive.
Yeah, you're taking ownership of your own feelings
Exactly.
instead of, like, pointing fingers.
Right. And it invites the other person to do the same thing. So
Okay.
you can have an open conversation.
Okay, I like that. So address it early, use I statements.
Mm-hmm. And then active listening.
Here we go again.
I know, right? But it's so important, especially during these, tough conversations.
Okay.
You got to really listen to understand their perspective,
Okay.
even if you don't agree with it.
So not just, like, hearing the words,
No.
but actually, like, processing them.
Right. And, put your phone down.
Right, of course.
Make eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
Make sure you're understanding what they're saying.
So really show them that you're, like, present,
Exactly.
then listening.
It shows empathy.
Okay.
Creates a safe space for both of you.
Wow. I have a lot of work to do on my listening skills. Okay, so we've got address it early, I statements, active listening. What else?
You got to find common ground.
Okay.
Conflict doesn't have to be, a win or lose situation.
Right.
It's about finding a solution that works for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that means compromise.
That's a really good point.
Right.
Because I think sometimes we get so caught up in, like, being right
Oh, yeah.
that we forget about the bigger picture,
Exactly.
which is, like, saving the friendship.
Exactly. Remember, you're on the same team.
Right.
You both want what's best for the friendship.
Yeah.
And that might mean meeting in the middle.
I like this. This is way better than how I normally handle things.
Good. And then last tip. Know when to take a break.
Oh.
If things are getting really heated,
Yeah.
you're not getting anywhere, step back.
Mm-hmm.
Give each other space to cool down.
I've been in those conversations
I'm
where,
sure
like,
it's-
no one's listening anymore.
Right. It's pointless. It's just going to make things worse.
So take a break, come back to it later.
Exactly. When you've both had a chance to, chill out a bit.
Process.
Process. Yeah.
Okay. So can you give me, like, a real life example of how this would actually look?
Sure. Let's say you and your friend, you have plans to go to a concert,
Okay.
but something came up. You had to cancel last minute. Your friend's bummed,
Yeah.
disappointed.
I've been on both sides of that.
Right. So, first thing, acknowledge their feelings. Apologize.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry I had to cancel. I know you were really looking forward to it, and I feel bad.
Okay. So you're owning your actions.
Yes. Then explain briefly what happened. Keep it simple. Something came up. It's urgent. No excuses, but just,
Just a little context.
yeah, little context. And then active listening.
Uh-huh.
Let them vent. Let them be frustrated.
Let them have their feelings,
Exactly. Don't interrupt. Don't get defensive. Just listen,
even if it's hard.
even if it's hard.
Okay. And then what?
Try to find that common ground. Maybe reschedule
Mm-hmm.
or offer to do something else to make it up to them.
Show them you care.
Yeah. And throughout the whole conversation,
Mm-hmm.
just be respectful, understanding,
Right.
even if things get a little tense. The goal is to fix the problem
Mm-hmm.
and keep the friendship.
I'm really liking this approach. It's so much healthier than, like, my default mode, which is usually just like avoid, avoid, avoid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's about shifting our mindset
Okay.
from seeing conflict as a bad thing
Mm-hmm.
to seeing it as a chance to learn and grow.
I like that. Okay, so anything else we should know about, like, dealing with conflict?
Just remember, if things are still tense, even after you talk,
Yeah.
it's okay to take some space.
Yeah.
Give each other time
Sometimes you just need a little time to, like,
to breathe.
yeah, breathe and process.
Exactly. And then you come back to it.
This has been so helpful. Like, I feel like I'm looking at conflict in a whole new way.
Mm.
Wow, so we've covered a lot today.
Yeah, we have.
From, like, the health benefits of friendship
Uh-huh.
to, like, actually dealing with conflict.
Right, all the messy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's really an art to all of this.
There is.
It's not just, like, something that just happens.
You got to be intentional.
Yeah.
Put in the work.
And I think what's really sticking with me is that whole idea that, like, conflict doesn't have to be a bad thing.
No, not at all.
It's really all about how you handle it.
It's all about the approach.
Right.
And I think those tips from the articles,
Yeah.
like the I statements, active listening, finding that common ground,
Right.
those are really valuable.
Yeah. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit now.
Good.
Like, before I would have just avoided it completely,
Yeah,
but now I see it as, like, an opportunity.
to grow.
Yeah, exactly. And like even make the friendship stronger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that, even the closest friendships, they're going to have bumps in the road.
Right.
But it's how you navigate those bumps
Yeah.
that really determines, how strong and how long that friendship will last.
Okay, so as we're wrapping up here,
Mhm.
what's like one big thing that you're taking away from all of this?
Mm. For me, it's just that reminder that, like, those small gestures, the little things you do consistently,
Yeah.
those can make such a huge difference.
Okay.
It's easy to get busy and forget to, like, nurture those connections.
Right.
But a text, a phone call, even a handwritten note,
Mm-hmm.
those can go a long way in showing your friends that you really care,
I love that. It's about like making it a priority,
making it a priority.
even when life is crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, what about you? What are you gonna like do differently?
I think for me, it's going to be taking more initiative.
Okay.
I tend to be a little passive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing that, I wait for other people to reach out.
Yeah.
I might be missing out on some really great connections.
Right.
Or opportunities, I should say,
And sometimes people were just waiting for someone to be like,
to make the first move.
yeah, let's hang out.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's easy to assume that everyone else is like too busy,
Oh, yeah.
but they could be feeling the exact same way.
Right.
And I think I'm going to really try to work on my listening skills.
Ah, yes.
Like really put the phone down, be present, you know?
Be present, be engaged.
Yeah,
Active listening is a gift.
it is. And it creates that space for like a real
The
connection.
deeper connection.
Right. So to wrap up this whole episode,
Mm-hmm.
what's like one final thought you want to leave people with?
Think about one friendship that you really want to nurture,
Okay.
or maybe a friendship that, maybe is kind of fizzled out
Uh-huh.
and you'd like to rekindle. What's one small step you can take this week to reach out?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, a text message, a phone call.
Mm.
Just, take that first step.
And remember, friendships are like, they're like plants.
They need to be watered.
You got to water them, give them sunlight.
Exactly.
It takes effort, but the rewards are huge.
They're worth it.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into friendships.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you learned something today.
Absolutely.
And remember, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
Share your thoughts, share your own friendship tips with us on social media.
Yeah, we love to hear it.
Until next time, keep those friendships strong.